Gentlemen, Fly here. Welcome to More Crap Than News. This is the roundup of the UK motorcycling press for the month, and this is the September 2016 edition. If you stick around and stay tuned for the next few minutes, I'll just pick out some of the stories that have been of interest to me, and you might find of interest too if you don't read the paper yourself. Okay, so first off then, 4 papers to go through, as I say, and starting with, in fact, let's get them in the right order. This particular one is the first paper, and the headline here is all around the British Grand Prix. It's a British Grand Prix souvenir issue. It seems like a long time ago now, doesn't it? And of course, the race before the British Grand Prix, Cal Crutchlow won, so there was high hopes on Cal Crutchlow for this race, and in fact he came second. So, although a fantastic result for Cal, I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed as a result. It would have been great if he'd got first at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, wouldn't it? But there we go. Anyway, so that's that. That's what basically the whole edition is about. But there was another story that I just picked up here that I thought was of interest, and it's this. It's all about MV Agusta, and if you've been following the company at all in the last few years, you know they've gone through some rocky, hard times. And basically what they've decided to do is they're going to have to scale back on production. They had big plans to scale up something to like 20,000 bikes per year from the current 10,000, and now they've had to decide they're not going to do that after all. Anyway, the good news is here, the new boss here, Giovanni Castiglione, he's kind of restructured the business, got some more funding from the parent organisations. It's actually owned by, or partly owned by, people like Daimler and AMG, the Mercedes tuning people. Anyway, he's got some more money to keep the company going. They're going to bring out some new models. So that's great news. Nobody likes to see manufacturers going under. At least you don't want to see motorbike manufacturers going under. But the reason why I pulled this out really was, number one, to tell you that, but also just to show you this bike. This is a one-off. It's called the ZF4, rather, Zagato. An incredible looking machine. It was built, it's based on the M4, so you know, standard underpinnings of that sports bike, but the bodywork is obviously completely new, and it's just done for a very rich customer. But an amazing looking machine, and just thought you might like to see that. Okay, so that's that edition. The next edition, here we go. This is the September 14th edition. Headline here: Kings of Cool, and this basically is the main feature in this week's newspaper. Is all about this new phase for scrambler type retro bikes, and they're doing a test here, a big test that pits the BMW R9T Scrambler, which I think is a lovely looking bike, up against things like the Ducati Scrambler, the new Moto Guzzi Stornello, and also the Triumph Street Twin with the Scrambler editions on it. So that's the main story in here this week. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. But something else that just got my attention in here was this. This is the new BMW G310R. It's a first for BMW because they don't usually go in for small bikes, and this one is only, I think it's 400cc or something, or it might even be, it's 313cc, puts out 34 brake horsepower, so it's not going to break any records, but basically it's A2 licence friendly, so if you're learning to ride and you want to take your licence, this is a potential bike you can do it on. It's super frugal, it does something like 85 miles per gallon claimed, and it costs only, I say only, £4,200, which is pretty good for a premium bike. So, and the thing that stuck out, I mean, I don't usually look at these sorts of machines, but the thing that stuck out for me on this one is just the way it looks. It really is quite a meaty looking machine. I mean, if you look at this, the bike here, it just doesn't look at all like a small bike. It looks like a proper full-size machine. I think if I was learning to ride, I'd be quite happy to be seen on a bike like that. So there we are. So that's the new BMW G310R, a new beginner's bike, if you like, but also a great commuter, I would think. Okay, the next week headline is Top Secret picks new blade. Now this basically is the Honda Fireblade, which used to be the bike that everybody wanted. But of late, over the last few years, other bikes, particularly when BMW came along with all the technology, and then all the other manufacturers have followed suit, it's kind of left the blade somewhat behind. But the good news is Honda know that, and because of Euro 4, they're going to have to upgrade it anyway. So that's the headline story there. A couple of stories that I just want to pick out before we get there. Oh, sorry, we'll do that first. This is the new Fireblade then. This is what she looks like. It looks really nice. It's going to have the full electronics package, as I say, to bring it up to snuff with all its competitors. It's also Euro 4 compliant, so the old blade will disappear this year. And they've done some massive restyling. I think the nose looks much better on it. It actually looks a bit like bikes lower down the range, but also I think it's got a touch of Panigale about the lights, I don't know. But I think it's looking really good. So yeah, Euro 4 compliant, looks great, and it's going to have the electronics package, so I'm sure that'll do very, very well. Okay, and the other story I've picked out here. Here we go, and this is an amazing story. This is Guy Martin and his attempt at the land speed record for motorcycles. Now, he did a test run a few weeks back. And I think he achieved 274 miles an hour on the salt at Bonneville, which makes it the fastest ever Triumph motorcycle, but it's some way short of the record. He's going for the overall outright record, he's going for 400 miles an hour in total, and last week was their next attempt, and they had all sorts of problems with the state of the salt and so on, because as you can imagine at different times of day and humidity, the salt is different and they need a certain hardness, all sorts of technology that goes into these things. Unfortunately, they didn't have a great run. He ran it up to speed after about a mile. It fell on its side or rolled on its side, and that was the end of that record attempt. So I don't know when they're going to go back and try again. I'm sure they will do, but sadly that one ended in failure for now. But an amazing machine. It's called the Triumph Streamliner. It's powered by two Rocket 3 motors, which is the the massive cruiser bike that Triumph make. They've tuned those up, and it puts out some huge amount. In fact, I think it's 1,000 brake horsepower. Yeah, 1,000 brake horsepower it will put out. So look forward to seeing when they do the next attempt at that. An amazing looking machine, and it will properly allow Triumph to say once again in their advertising and marketing stuff, no doubt, that it's the fastest motorcycle in the world. So looking forward to that. Okay, moving on then, nearly there. The last one then is this week's edition. Front page of this, or the headline news, is this rather strange comparison that MCN have done between these various tourers. Now they've put things like the BMW R1200 RT, which is my current favourite touring bike by some mile, up against things like the Yamaha Tracer. Great bike, but completely in a different sort of class or league, you would think, to the BMW. So a bit of an odd one. We'll get to that in a minute. The other stories I've picked out here. First one, again, just an amazing story. This is Dougie Lampkin, who's the enduro rider, nutter. He's just managed to do a whole lap of the Isle of Mann TT course, all 37.73 miles of it, whilst wheeling the bike, which is an incredible feat, especially when you consider they didn't close the roads for it. He had to do that amongst traffic, so absolutely incredible. Now, MCN have said that he's the first man to do that. I'm not entirely sure that's true, actually. I think I read a while back that somebody else had done it before him. But either way, let's not take anything away from him. What an incredible effort to actually ride around. It took him an hour and a half to do it, wheeling all the way. Amazing stuff. Okay, so that's that. And then the other last story I've picked out for this month's More Crap Than News is this review of these three bikes. So it's the Yamaha Tracer against the Kawasaki Versys 1000 against the BMW RT. Now I think it's, now the whole premise rather of this is that, can you have a good touring bike for less money than a full dress tourer costs? And of course you can. But I just think it's a bit of a strange comparison to make, because there's no doubt the BMW is in a different league to the other bikes. But it costs, in this spec, the RTSE, £17,500. A lot of money in anybody's book. Whereas the Tracer costs £7,503, so less than half the price. So, of course, value for money, the Tracer comes out very good. And everybody actually, well, not everybody, there's three journalists actually doing this review. And oddly, each one of them says they like a different bike. And then the end rankings is that the Tracer is the ultimate winner. And that basically comes down to value for money. But, money no object, then surely the BMW's got to be the best bike there. Anyway, that's my opinion. Okay, that's it. That's More Crap Than News for September 2016. Thanks for all your feedback last time and your encouragement to keep doing this little feature. So I'll keep doing that. Really appreciate all that stuff and look forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, this has been the Mr. and Fly. Cheerio.